In today's episode of Willful, we spoke with Ricardo McRae, a painter turned vision activator. Ricardo was also the founder of Black in Canada, an organization that seeks to shift the popular narrative of Black achievement in this country and around the world.
I said, what's your biggest regret knowing you're going to die? And his answer to that question shifted my life. And it was not finishing a jazz album so my son will hear me play music. He was a jazz musician. He said, Ricardo, these are the things I think of. What do I want to tell my son for the rest of his life? And he never finished that album. I mean, I've known him for years. They were working and it wasn't quite right, and there was money and there was always something. I mean, he just said, forget it. Just do what you have to do. He said, don't worry about the money. He said, it'll work itself out. And shortly after that, I resigned from that job.
Yep.
And I said, I have art to do.
Yeah.
This is what the world needs. It doesn't need another tech person. It doesn't need, another six-figure, blah, 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 blah. I'm like, I'm out. And it freaked the entire family out. What am I doing here in a tech world with people who made the internet? I'm like, it's fun. But what I have to offer the world is my perspective and my art.
Yeah, even though it was doing well. So,
Yeah.
okay, tell us then, after that moment, you had that seminal conversation with your best friend, and then you've told your family, I've quit my job, I'm going to be an artist. I've got different things to give the world. What did you do next? Like, practically speaking, how did you combine your creativity with solvency?
I went down to Chinatown. I got myself a cheap studio above a restaurant.
Really?
It was $300 a month. I went, okay. Got a friend to share it. It was literally had cracks in the window, and like I had to put a piece of cardboard. I'm like, perfect. This is exactly what I need. Got myself a couple gallons of white paint, and I just painted the whole thing white. And I went, well, all right. This is where it's going to happen. Invited everyone I knew to an open house in my little shitty art studio. Had a little projector, put some slides in of my work, and it was my coming out party.
Yeah.
I was like, Ricardo's an artist. I'm like, what do you mean you're an artist? You're in tech, you're in this. I'm like, nope, I'm an artist. I'm coming out. They're like, what do you mean? I was like, so I literally had people there. I have one picture of that studio with like people around, and there's like wood leading up, and I could not have been happier. Like with the hole in the window in the winter, like I loved it. And I'm like, showed people this artwork and everyone was like, oh, this is impressive stuff. So what do you do? And I'm like, I did the work that you're impressed with. They're like, that's not like, I thought this was an art show about artists. I'm like, no, all of that's my work.
Yeah.
That's what I was showing. I'm like, this is what I studied at school. They're like, you didn't study business? I'm like, no.
Yeah.
And like people were shocked because it was present for me, but obviously it was hidden because people didn't see that side of me.
Mm-hmm.
And, I have this way of like drastically doing things. So I just told every single person so I couldn't go back.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, I make it uncomfortable to go backwards. I tell everybody, I'm an artist. And I'm like, I guess I can't go back. The world gone. How's that gonna look? So I'm like, I created that sort of tension to have myself either had the studio, started painting, did shows, sold work.
Mm-hmm.
Always had a lot of interest in what I was doing, but promised myself I wouldn't take things on that didn't allow me to be creative.
Right.
And that was the one thing I said, it's all I need. I said, do I get, oh, you could be the director of this. I'm like, nope, I want to be the artistic director.
Yeah.
And they're like, you could be president. I'm like, nope.
Yep.
I'm gonna do the designs of your logo. It's like, I just kept going back to it. And then over time, people started believing and started relating to me in that way.
That's right.
They can't see it. Some things have to be seen to believed.
Yeah.
And this is, as an artist, we have the ability to actually see things that don't exist. So that superpower of vision, that's what artists have. We have vision.
Yeah.
Most people don't have vision. They can see, but they don't have vision to see things that don't exist.
Let's take it further now. You've had your studio, but at some point, your studio and an interest in branding intersect. How did that come about?